Hello everyone! When the third part of episode 70 was finally released, it gave me just a ton of material that I'd really like to talk about. Previously, I've already made a video on the secret agent's origin and purpose in the series, so this time, I decided to choose another topic. So today I'm going to talk about the mysterious green-suited cameramen who I thought to be ghosts at first. These two buddies really turned out to be full of surprises, and I have a lot of theories on them, which I'll happily share with you in this video. Now get your tea and snacks ready, and prepare to watch this video to the end, because it's going to be really interesting. And let's go! Although the actual plot-related appearance of at least one of the green-suited cameramen happened in the later episodes of the series, we could see the same models of cameramen in the earliest episodes as well. For example, let's take this shot from episode 8. We can notice one green-suited cameraman walking in the center of the crowd. We could also see him once again in episode 31, from the left side of this big cameraman with his legs buried into two toilets. It's pretty interesting how in all of those cases, this green-suited cameraman appeared in places where some crazy battles were about to begin, but we never saw him getting destroyed or critically damaged. Even in episode 31, where the crowd of the ordinary cameraman had been attacked by their infected former comrades, and considering that the Alliance didn't have the anti-parasite weapon at the time, I didn't see a clear opportunity to get out of this scenario alive. Besides, the green-suited cameraman stood right next to the big cameraman, then got brutally beheaded by the infected big cameraman in the blue shirt. So he must have been extra lucky or something like that. By the way, funnily enough, but in episode 46 we could see his green-suited soulmate that came from the Speakerman's race this time. And this guy doesn't do anything particular that could have distinguished him from the rest of the ordinary Speakermen. So I guess that Boom just wanted to play with colors a bit at that time. We could also see one of the green-suited cameraman appearing at the very beginning of episode 55, and also pay your attention to the fact that this cameraman finds himself in the very dangerous situation once again. I mean, the freaking acid skeleton Skibidi is in front of him. And somehow, our guy manages to be in the row of the very few survivors of this Skibidi attack and successfully escapes by running away. I mean, at this point, I would consider this cameraman as lucky as the white terracotta brother himself. Could it be the miraculous hand of help belonging to the secret agent? Or is he just that smart on his own? Both variants can be possible in this case, actually, because I have a certain theory on how the secret agent may choose his apprentices, but I'll tell you about it a little bit later. And for now, don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I make a lot of really interesting and detailed videos about the lore of this series, including the character of the secret agent as well. Well, let's get back to the green-suited cameraman, though. As he manages to survive in episode 55, it's pretty logical to see him well and thriving once again in the following episode, standing on the right side from this TV man with the rifle in his hands. And by the way, guys, do you remember this particular car he also stands right in front of? Yeah, that's right. It's this very car where the secret agent sits in, and we could see him just a few seconds later, although in the frame with the green-suited cameraman, he's gone already. And besides that, Lucky Cameraman, aka the White Terracotta Bro, also appears in the same episode. We could notice him running with his butt cheeks caught on fire, closer to the end of episode 56. And by the way, in this episode, the green-suited cameraman continues the tradition of getting dragged into really messy situations. I mean, how did he manage to escape this route that had been occupied by the infected Titan Speakerman from all sides? This guy never fails to amaze me, my friends. But unfortunately, his luck didn't seem to be endless after all, because in episode 61, we see him once again, walking confidently with the rifle in his hands. But you just look at that. Skibidi Penguin Zero appears on the screen, stuns all the cameramen in front of him, including the green-suited one, and knocks him to the ground with one precise shot. But here comes the tricky part. Pay your attention to the way his body lies on the ground. His head camera doesn't seem to be detached from his body, and he looks more unconscious and motionless than lifeless. Plus, there's something more to it. In case you didn't notice or simply forgot, the POV of episode 61 is no other than Lucky Cameraman himself. And as it usually happens when this guy can be found in the center of an action, there's also the secret agent looking straight into the POV's soul as well. And it's another time when we see the green-suited cameraman and the white terracotta bro not only in the same episode, but also in the same scene. So I have two theories on how the green-suited cameraman managed to survive in this episode. The first one is that he wasn't actually finished by Skibidi Penguin Zero, and the head camera that wasn't detached from his main body signals to us about that. Because it is actually possible to still bring the injured cameraman back to life with the help of the medics of the Alliance. And the only condition was that is the head camera being connected to the body or its wires not being cut off. We could see how in the second part of episode 69, the medic approaches the body of a fallen cameraman with his head being in the whole other dimension, and he doesn't even bother to stop and take a closer look at him, but simply walks by him. Which proves the idea that the task of repairing of a cameraman from the injuries that he got becomes impossible only in the case of his head camera being completely torn off. For instance, we could see the process of renovation at the very beginning of episode 62. So, it's pretty logical to assume that the green-suited cameraman could have been simply saved off screen by a bunch of the Alliance's medics. And here's another theory. What if the secret agent had already laid his eyes on him in this episode and decided to choose this guy in pair with Lucky Cameraman as one of his future accomplices? Maybe his luck and dexterity played a major role in this choice. I don't really know here. Although I'm not entirely sure of that, as it's pretty difficult to see it in details, but I think we could catch a glimpse at the green-suited cameraman once more in the beginning of episode 66, crouching near that gray fallen toilet. And finally, we're catching up to the current events, namely, the fourth part of episode 67, where all the members of the infiltration squad reach the Skibidi bunker, including now 2 green-suited cameramen, one of whom still clenches his favorite rifle in his hands, while the other one carries the plunger on his back. And as we've already seen before, he hands it over to its owner once Plungerman slips into the bunker too. And in one of my previous videos, I voiced a theory that maybe Plungerman indeed wasn't supposed to get inside, and one of the green-suited cameramen was intended to take his place in terms of battle power, as he had already become the secret agent's accomplice at this point, as well as Lucky Cameraman. I don't think that his similarly looking bro was a secret agent's accomplice at that time though, but why I don't think so. I'm going to explain a little bit later, so brace with me. By the way, did you notice how in the secret scene that was added by Boom in all the episodes of Season 22 compilation, everyone but Plungerman, Black Speakerman, and 2 green-suited brothers followed Lucky Cameraman's orders? That could indicate that those 4 guys aside from the POV are really special, and each of them was given a certain purpose in the upcoming events. Now, having the information from episode 70, that scene in the second part of episode 68, where the green-suited cameraman reaches out his hand to take the remote controller from Lucky Cameraman's hands, doesn't seem to be so out of place at all. What if this one cameraman was already the secret agent's accomplice by the moment, and he decided to show Lucky Cameraman that he's of the same kind as him? But the white terracotta bro just looks at him surprisingly, and then averts his eyes. Maybe he got annoyed by the possibility that this stupid green dude was about to give their secret away. And take a look at that scene where we can see Lucky Cameraman and the same green-suited cameraman standing side by side. This is definitely not a coincidence anymore. And of course, the secret agent himself is literally meters away from them, which is being hinted by the 2 bursts of his trademark green glow. From that moment, one interesting change in both green-suited cameramen's behavior can be noticed. They stopped taking any participants in fights, and they could be usually found standing somewhere in the corner, back to back, with their hands kept in front, and this gesture personally associates with some sort of tutors or mentors to me. I suppose that shortly before the moment the squad entered the elevator, that one green-suited cameraman that was healed by the secret agent and led into the number of his special accomplices shared his secret with his same colored bro, and now they both are aware of their special purpose that is coming next. Then, the legendary moment occurs when the Skibidi Michael Jackson's chase begins. We could notice how both of green-suited bros are hesitating for just a moment that makes them the last in the squad. And now, given the information from episode 70, I really doubt it was just a blunder accidentally made by them. Because first of all, in all the previous episodes where we could watch them, we remember them behaving in a really smart way that allowed them survive the toughest of battles for a really long time. So why stop and behave slow and flabbergasted here and all of a sudden? Second of all, considering how they already were the secret agent's accomplices by now, I would find it more plausible that they were simply given orders to wait from him specifically. The possible purpose for them to get demolished in front of the POV plungerman's eyes could be to anger and embitter him even more, who has already experienced so many losses of his comrades, so it would be easier for him to finish off Skibidi Scientist in the end of that journey. Then, in the end of the first part of the 70th episode, a legendary false ghost scene comes, which confused so many people at the moment of its release, myself included. Boom really tricked us into thinking that this series will get some supernatural tone for them. And it was pretty cool of him. But as we knew from the third part of episode 70, it all was a trick in the end, and we could see 2 of green-suited cameramen alive and well. Apparently, this whole ghost thing was just some kind of invisibility caused by another device that was handed to them by the secret agent. Also, take a look at this handshake scene between them once more. The hands they both use for that gesture were previously torn off by Skibidi Jackson in the first part of episode 69, which means that they got repaired really quickly. So what purpose do those green-suited cameramen serve for the secret agent? I think that they are the sneak spies of him, that mostly observe what's going on around them without getting directly intervened in the course of events, and that we'll also see more of them in the future episodes. And that was all for today. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, so don't forget to subscribe to my channel not to miss my new analyses and to give this video a like. And that was me, ISOTOILET. See ya!